Hello, hello, hello. It's Kyle Van Voorst with Voorst.com, and today we're going to be discussing how to use lead statuses in your CRM to better manage your SDR workflow. Let's jump right in. Okay, so we're talking about lead statuses today. How are you effectively managing your leads? It's a big question. This might be a little bit more operations focused. I like this kind of stuff. Let me know if you do. If you like, comment, subscribe. It's super helpful, but also it tells me I should make more content like this. Now, without further ado, let's jump into a Google Doc and get started. Okay, so what are lead statuses? They're simply statuses that you give your leads that you're working or the people you're trying to reach out to that let you as the SDR know exactly where they are in their life cycle or their journey to becoming a qualified opportunity for the sales reps. And this is the flow I've been using. I've tweaked this over the years, but something very similar to this since I even started as an SDR. I like it this way. Worked really well for me. With a few modifications, it's worked well for all of our clients. So we keep this as a pretty standard procedure. Now, let's talk about each of the different statuses and what they mean. The first one here is open. This is very simple. These are just leads that you've never worked before. Maybe someone else had, right? So these aren't just brand new leads, but they're leads that you have never called or emailed. So this is an important one. Once you call or email, then it gets moved into the working stage. What would be nice is if you have an automation set up to where anytime there's an email from the new owner or a call, that it gets moved into working. That's usually good practice. Leads that are in the working stage are leads you've never connected with before. They are being called, you're actively working them, but they're not responding to your email, they're not answering their phone, you're trying to get a hold of them. Once you finally do and you get them on the phone, you move them to prospect if you didn't book a meeting. That's the key. So if you connect with someone and book a meeting, then they go somewhere else. I'll talk about it in a minute. But if you connect with someone and you do not book a meeting, they go into this prospect category. And this just means I connected with them, I didn't book them. The reason why we separate this out is because these are people you can get a hold of. They've answered their phone. They've replied to an email before. They've shown that they're willing to engage in some way. These are the leads that you revisit. Okay, these are your warmest leads next to ones you've already booked before. Next, we have disqualified at any point. If you talk to somebody or maybe you find something out on their website or whatnot, and it turns out a lead is disqualified, you move it to the disqualified status. And I usually suggest having a disqualified reason alongside this, where as the SDR, you select why it was disqualified. It might be because it went out of business. That could be a reason. Maybe it's because they don't have the minimum threshold they need to in order to see value from your solution. There's a lot of reasons. You would have these drop downs so you can select it, and that can help management really be able to tune the list and also enrich some of that contact information. Like maybe the company's too small now, they send them through nurturing, they kick it back in a year, that kind of stuff. It's usually good practice. Next, we have bad data, and I keep this separate from disqualified because I want it very clear. I don't want someone to forget to mark disqualified reason as bad data. I want it very clear. If it's bad data, it's bad data. This needs to be enriched by sales operations or your SDR manager if you don't have a sales ops team. And obviously, phone number's bad, email's not working, whatever it is. If you can't find the information, you have really bad data on this particular prospect, they're bad data. Nurture, this would be someone that you haven't connected with and you want to nurture them and you want marketing to be sending them specific emails. Odds are marketing's sending emails to all these people, right? That's typically what's happening. But the nurture status is ones that you just want to get out of your pipeline. You've reached out to them a ton of times. They've never answered their phone. They've never replied to your email. Throw them to nurture, let marketing try some other stuff on them, and then we'll recycle them later. And then finally is converted. So if you booked a meeting with a prospect, then it gets put into converted. This is standard in a lot of CRMs. They have a specific stage called converted in Salesforce. And HubSpot, it's called active opportunity. When a demo is booked and an opportunity is created, then it gets put into converted. Okay, so let's walk through this flow chart here. Open, this is where outreach starts. Working, we're outreaching, we're trying to get a hold of somebody. We finally do. They either go to nurtured, converted, or disqualified, or they go to prospect. And that's it. Pretty simple flow chart. Alrighty, so those are the lead statuses we typically use with our clients. It keeps everything organized, and that's part of the battle, right? As an SDR, you have to organize your leads and you have to be able to prioritize who you're reaching out to. Here's a way that you can use lead statuses to better manage your workflow, and you're gonna see better results because of it.
Let's get the show on the road. Pumping heavy like machinery, we're ready.